I kind of run into an issue, and I
Yep,
don't know if
we're
you can see it, but do you see my hand, my arm?
Oh yeah.
I suddenly
That
lost it.
yeah, so that'll be that's being fixed at the moment actually, which is kind of funny, but um
Yeah, at least you got some nice T-shirt here, without hands, of course. But
that's our Halloween ghost skin.
here they get the clothing. Can I get?
There's a clothing guy here. Oh,
Yep,
there's
so
other
there's a
players here
clothing.
too.
Yep.
Oh, you can see their name when they're not in your crew.
Yep, so if you're up against them,
Is that on a player?
close.
Oh,
Yep.
I thought that's NPC first.
I thought that at first as well, because I was just chatting with someone else. But then I saw her walk here, and those don't look like NPC movements.
Oh, I have quests here. Rewards machete. Oh, that's the one. Does it have clothing with hands?
Yes, we do have options. So right now we currently have it so that when you're purchasing certain clothing items, it gives you a random assortment of something. So there are some that are still being tweaked.
So basically, how do you get these coins? It's just like questing.
So it's going to be it's a combination of questing, but also killing the mutants throughout the world. So when we were killing those mutants during the siege, a majority of them will drop rye, which is a currency, and it'll also drop another rare resource, which is 127, which is used in conjunction with rye to be able to convert into energy. So if we went to the middle structure over here, and you opened it up, you'll see that you're able to convert 127 into energy as long as you have the appropriate amount of rye. Um, Energy is
All
going to
right.
be used for not only totems to kind of upgrade your totem and offer the energy shields to be able to kind of power different aspects of your base, but it's going to be that resources that we're going to be incorporating into all these other systems that you're going to kind of make sure that you need to have in order to contribute or invest in something or kind of use for learning recipes, purchasing stuff from vendors, as well as keeping your base as defensible as possible.
So where does the energy go to once you pick it out
So
of the
the
machine?
so your energy will be transferred. So if you transfer it out of the machine into your inventory, what it does is it actually binds it to your character.
Ah,
So if you hit tab, you'll see your player name, you'll see Ryan the bank, you'll see Ryan wallet, and energy. So it's something that you'll have bound to your character. You cannot lose it. It cannot be taken from you. But Rye and 127 can. There's also options to store stuff in the bank. So we have the bank here. There's also a bank in the comm tower, which is in the PvP zone. So anything that you transfer in here could be looted or interacted with in that location as well. But usually when you're starting out, you want to make sure that you have kind of stuff reserved. And this bank is safer than your base. As you said, a lot of people, if they can't get on within a certain amount of time, eventually their base will decay because your base decays over time. And it's all based on the upkeep and the resources
Okay.
that you built the base out of. But we're pretty generous with that. But this will not, anything that you transfer into your bank will not be lost. So this is the safest place to store your items. You're also able to actually store the currency. So if you drag the ride directly into there, you're able to visit the vendor and you're able to purchase stuff without having to worry about it being directly on you. And we're gonna find ways to kind of make sure that we're limiting certain stuff so that you just don't have a huge stockpile all the time
Mm.
on PVE in a global bank. We're going to be kind of expanding the bank, expanding the totems, and expanding other systems to kind of allow you to have certain options for certain things, but those will be seen early access and beyond.
I also see a lot of shops that don't have vendors yet. Will there be a lot more shops eventually?
Yep. So there's plans for different shops. There's plans for different quest vendors or quest givers. What you're seeing is you're going to be seeing quite a bit of this being, since this is going to be the social hub, this is where you're going to be seeing a large amount of stuff coming in to kind of be able to guide you through the player progression as well
Mm.
as the quest system.
And by the way, are you planning to implement any transportations or maybe mounts or something?
So we do have plans for golf carts. We do have plans for a fabrication system as well. So that'll offer different different transportation options, and we'll be talking about that more once we hit early access. Com Tower also has zip lines. I think we do plan on expanding a little bit more on that as far as I'm aware. So if you do go to the Com Tower, you're actually able to take it directly from the Com Tower to the beach. So
Awesome.
offering kind of varying transportation options is going to be important, as the map is going to be quite big.
I also see that there are some arcade machines here. Any plans on making these playable?
Uh,
Because it's a pretty big tease and
yeah,
having them here.
actually, that was asked too. Unfortunately, not. That would be absolutely amazing, but it takes quite a bit of work to be able to kind of get that in game and working properly for players. And I wish, but no current plans to allow the players to use this as of yet.
One thing that I'm trying to get to work is just trying to climb, but it seems in many survival games you just cannot, like in Conan Exile, you can just grab terrain.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
that generally breaks a lot of the game structure as well. A lot of survival games or games in general don't have that.
Yep. And then this is the Veil Travel Terminal. So this is the first implementation of us to being able to transfer back and forth between servers. So we can do this real quick. Should be fine. As for the implementation right now, it'll just take us to another version of the island of Maui, where obviously we won't have access to our base because it's map specific. But plans for our Veil travel system is to have different biomes, stuff that I mentioned earlier, where it's like jungle, volcanic, underwater, kind of just being in unique places of the same world, but offering different gameplay experiences, different changes, different sites, different landmarks, and kind of expanding on that. We're going to be offering biome specific quests as well. So it's not just going to be tied to just like random stuff. It's going to be a lot more where it's like if you want to experience a certain thing, you're going to have to make your way to another veil.
All
Interesting.
right.